scenic photo opportunity off the right. The mountain with those jagged pinnacles and spires, you've probably noticed since the Waterton town site, one of our most iconic mountains. That is called the Citadel Peaks of Porcupine Ridge. Original native name for that mountain, Atunuxis, translating roughly to the needles in the sky. Very descriptive name. So Citadel in the background. In the foreground, this little creek called Boundary Creek flowing into the lake. This is what you would call point source water, draining from high alpine snowfields, some of the freshest water you'll find anywhere. And once again, just stunning fall colors. So just pivoting the boat around to give everybody a good look here. And if you're looking around towards the high mountain peaks and places, you'll see that fresh dusting of snow, but in addition to that, if you see a striking band of gold running up through the high country, that's the larch, the alpine larch, the tamarack trees. Their needles turn gold each fall. Probably only lasts for 2 weeks an entire year. 2 weeks, that's it. Then those needles will drop off. So you pick the right time to come out here and see all this. Mountain almost directly ahead, a little bit off the left, back through the U-shaped valley. There's a real reddish color to it. That's one of the few mountains that has retained its traditional native name. The name of that mountain, Mount Mishiwabin, translates roughly to beautiful morning. So again, very descriptive name. That red colored rock is known as argillite. It's oxidized iron content in that rock, and just contrast it nicely with the snow up there. So I mentioned the area being the world's first international peace park. The Rotarians of Rotary International, they were the ones who largely brought this to fruition. And prior to that point in time, the two parks here were being managed separately. They went and lobbied to their governments with the slogan, "Nature sees no boundaries." And that is an excellent slogan to go by. We're the only species out here who recognize divisions, borders, cut lines. The trees don't stop growing. The bears are not taxed on the amount of berries they bring back and forth. This is all one ecosystem. Everything out here is intimately connected. These parks have done a great job working together, preserving this area for future generations. Some of the kids on board here can come back one day with their grandchildren, see this place the same way as we're seeing it now, just pristine backcountry wilderness, just as Mother Nature intended it to be. So now you can get a glimpse down to the very south end of the upper Waterton Lake. If you have binoculars or sharp eyes, there's one lone building at the very south end. That's the ranger station, Goat Hunt, Montana. As I mentioned, it closed about 2 weeks ago for the season here, so we're not allowed to go down there anymore. During the summer months, we go down there. There's a half-hour stop. Everyone can get off and walk around. You don't need any ID, no passports to do that. Only hikers going past that point into the backcountry have to clear customs. So that is an official port of entry into the United States. And the peak population down there, 8 people. That's it, 8 people living down there. Trail crew, a few rangers, a maintenance man. And the U.S. Park Service, they drive their vehicles into Canada, take boats down this lake to access and stock that station. There are no roads from the American side connecting there. So closest road south of here, 32 miles, 50 kilometers away by hiking trail, over multiple mountain passes. Takes most people 2 to 3 days of backcountry hiking to reach that spot from the American side. But if you were to head due south, that would take you out to the famous Going to the Sun Highway. This pass area. And you can also follow trails out to the east towards the Chief Mountain border crossing, and then out to the west over Boulder Pass towards the Pinta Lakes, Polbridge, Montana, very west side of the national park. So excellent network of hiking trails. And another good look at Mount Cleveland there, just off the right, highest point in the sky. I mentioned the altitude of that mountain. I should mention what makes that mountain unique is the north face we can see there. That's actually the highest vertical rise in the lower 48 states. So well over 6,000 feet straight up. Only in Alaska will you find greater cliff faces than Mount Cleveland. And if you drive south from Calgary, right around the town of Nanton on a clear day, over an hour and a half drive away, you can spot that mountain on the horizon. So very prominent mountain peak. And so in addition to being the world's first international peace park, Waterton and Glacier are both obviously national parks. This place is also a UNESCO Natural World Heritage Site. It is a World Biosphere Reserve, and just recently Waterton Glacier combined became the world's first international dark sky preserve. So basically what that means, dark sky status, there's an absence of light pollution out here. No development. If you go out on a clear night, if you're spending the night, tonight is going to be very clear. Do yourself a favor, get away from the street lamps, look up at the stars. You will be amazed with what you see. Milky Way, dazzling overhead, planets. We had a meteor shower earlier in August, even northern lights from time to time. Take a look at the border again off the right. Notice just one stone marker, one obelisk. The base there, there's actually a marker on the top of this mountain as well. And then looking off the left-hand side, you can follow that cut line into the Boundary Valley. So the cut line runs right from the west coast of Canada, Strait of Juan de Fuca, all the way across to the Great Lakes, Lake of the Woods, Ontario, Minnesota area. And it's stated in the treaty between the two countries that where the border lies, it must be clearly marked. So that's their reasoning behind all this. Typically here every 15 years is when they will get re-cleared. And they do it by hand, so they'll contract the work out to the local trail crews. Some hardy men and women will hike up and down with chainsaws, axes, brush cutters, helicopters re-clearing that line. So continue cruising along here. We'll keep scanning for wildlife. I'm going to put the microphone down now, let the scenery take over. So sit back, relax, enjoy the views, talk amongst yourselves. If you do have any questions, concerns, just raise a hand. Your crew members, we will do our best to help you out. Thank you all for your attention.
Baligya dito 20 mil. Astang batog apil.
Kapilo na ba to?
Baligya din. Suds ka ang